During my time and experience as an early childhood educator, children's curiosity create unimaginable opportunities for teachable moments to scaffold the children's learning based on their interests. For instance, one sunny morning during my preschool intentional teaching session, the children were participating in a group activity about measurement and weight. We looked at which objects were smaller and which were larger. We looked at which were heavier and which were lighter. Some children were able to match specific objects where others were categorizing them. It wasn't until one child said, "Look, this object is the same on both sides," that I found the perfect teachable moment and began to scaffold their learning. Which brings me to an exciting maths phenomenon, symmetry, and how this maths occurrence can be presented through an engaging maths activity to preschool children aged 4 to 5 years. Symmetry is an impressive maths occurrence that can be related to common man-made objects, culture, or even nature. Symmetry can be either rotational, where the image looks the same as it is rotated around a central point, or lateral, when it is reflected on the other side, line, or axis. For the purpose of this activity, which is aimed at children aged 4 to 5 years, this lesson plan will present the basics of symmetry by making connections to the real world. By using nature as the main example to showcase symmetry, children will be able to easily identify objects that they are familiar with and begin to understand such a complex topic. As an educator, it would be a good idea to introduce the topic through reading some stories on symmetry and showing a quick video. Through the use of stories and videos, these learning materials will begin to generate curiosity, and you can guide the children through the learning topic by using open-ended questions to promote inquiry and understanding of symmetry. I will then show the children a real-life example by cutting a pear and an apple in half so that they show that they're the same on both sides. From here, I would highly encourage getting the children involved in an interactive experience on finding objects in the outdoor environment that they think might be symmetrical, the same on both sides. By discussing the objects they have found and cutting them in half to show whether they are symmetrical or not, will allow the children to visualize the concept that you are trying to teach. By now, most children should have had the basic understanding that objects that are the same on both sides are symmetrical. The next part of the learning journey can be done in a group or in smaller groups to provide one-on-one learning experiences. I would ask the children whether they think they are symmetrical. After some discussion and hypothesis, I would test their theories. This is best done by tracing the children's outline on a large piece of butcher's paper. Encourage the children to help trace the outline of their friends. After this is complete, ask the children what they think the result is. There should be 2 answers to this question. If you cut the outline horizontally, it is not symmetrical. But if you cut the outline vertically down the middle, the child is symmetrical. If you find these activities too much to do with the children in one day, they can be spanned over the week and displayed around the classroom for future reference. This activity can be further expanded over the course of a couple of weeks to include face symmetry, using mirrors to show children that their face is the same on both sides. Encourage the children to work in partners and gently draw a line with their finger down the partner's face to show how it is symmetrical. Animal symmetry, similar to body symmetry, is also an interesting and understandable way of showcasing symmetry with young children. It is important to understand that introducing this topic to preschool-age children must be done in a creative and engaging way. It would not be advised to further discuss symmetry, delving into bilateral symmetry or rotational symmetry, as children of this age would struggle to understand such concepts. Making connections to objects in nature and objects children are familiar with will make it easier for them to comprehend a difficult concept. This activity can be linked to the EYLF Early Years Learning Framework through many of the outcomes, especially outcome 4 and 5, where the children are developing dispositions for learning such as curiosity, imagination, and persistence, along with developing skills and procedures such as problem solving, inquiry, experimentation, hypothesizing, and investigation. As an educator, you may decide to continue to revisit this topic on a regular basis. It is important after any learning experience to work with the children to reflect on what they have learned and discovered. Reflecting collaboratively allows the children not only to share what they have learned, but to acquire knowledge from others' explanations and understandings of the topic. Ensure you are asking open-ended questions to promote reflection, like, what objects did we find that were not symmetrical, or how can we tell if an object is symmetrical? Mathematical concepts such as symmetry should be fostered and expanded on through creative and interactive experiences, which ideally support children's individual learning styles.